I just made a business-ready AI support agent in about 12 minutes, and I didn't do any type of coding. And it has access to the entire knowledge base of the company. It uses the best AI model of my choice in the background, and it also has custom colors and branding, and it could even auto-detect gaps in the knowledge base and recommend improvements. So there's this music venue in Chicago that I go to, and they still show their events the old school way on their website. So I thought if they added an AI agent that could help people find new events, easier ways to buy tickets, and answer any questions about the venue, parking, and things like that, that would really benefit them. So then I'll just email them a quick video showing exactly how I made it, and then see if they want to add it to their website. And I'll show you exactly how to create it and this business model of basically finding websites that can use an AI agent and then creating one for them like this one and then emailing them, I think is still one of the best business models in the AI space right now that you could implement. Now I'm going to use a platform called Chatbase that I've used myself for about 2.5 years now, and I partnered with them for this video, and I think is still the easiest way to add AI agents to any website without worrying about any technical skills. So from their homepage, I'll just press build your AI agent here. And the best part about this is it could actually go and crawl the website of my choice and pull in all the knowledge from that website. So I can upload all kinds of different files, add Q&As, all that in the next page. But right now, I'm just going to add that website here. So this is the link to the site. Then the use case is going to be a customer support agent. This is going to actually have a different instruction than these other agents, but we can tweak that as soon as we set this up. So I'm going to continue. This is going to crawl basically every single page on that website right now and pull in all the relevant information it needs to be a good customer support agent. So that took only about 10 seconds. It pulled in 58 different links. And if I want, I could go and see those different links here. And if any of them are not relevant, I could exclude the link or change it here. And I could crawl other things as well, or just give it an individual link to a very specific page here if I want to add that manually. But this does a really good job finding everything that is relevant on that website. Then if you're doing this for your company, for example, you probably have files that are relevant. So you could upload different type of PDF files, Word docs, and things like that, text documents. You could paste any text specifically. So if you know exactly how a refund request should be handled, you could put that here as a text snippet. And this Q&A is also a useful section because you'll get frequently asked questions that are the same question all the time. In our customer support, we get probably the same 10 question 90% of the time. So you could put those here, the specific question and the answer you want the chatbot to be able to pull from, right? Makes it a little bit easier to really tailor what you want. In this case, because I'm doing this for a company I don't know much about besides what's on their website, I'm just going to leave it there. We also do use Notion, and we have all kinds of different files on our Notion. You could connect that too. Right now, I'm just going to use these 58 links. I'm going to press train and continue. Now you could tweak the agent's user interface to get it to exactly look the way you want for your specific website. In this case, it pulled in the URL of that website, but I could change the agent name right on top and it will appear like this right on top. The appearance could be dark mode or light mode, again, depending on the website you're going to. In this case, the light mode version would look good on that website. I already looked at the website. You could change the color of what this agent looks like. Now you could add a profile picture. Let's say I had this company's logo here. I could go ahead and upload that and it will appear on top. In this case, they don't have a logo that will look good here, so I'm gonna skip that section, but this makes it really customized, right? So when I email them, they'll be like, wow, this looks really unique to our brand. Okay, now you could choose an AI model that runs this in the background. So this is gonna have all the top AI models, including the new ones. So if you want the best of the best, you could use ChatGPT 5.1 here. If you want something faster, typically ChatGPT 4o Mini is a good model and it's a fast model. So it really depends. Do you want the best possible answer or do you want a balance between a good answer and speed? So that's what I would choose here between those two models. They also have a ton of other models from other companies. So Claude, Gemini, the new Gemini models are great, Grok, right? So just to keep it simple though, I'm usually gonna pick between the latest ChatGPT model or a fast one, like these nano or mini ones that are smaller models will usually be a faster option. For this example, let's pick the best one because I want to make sure it actually gives the very best answer, even if there's a tad bit of delay in this model. And then you'll see this section right here. So we chose a customer support agent. under instructions. So instructions are basically a prompt that you give to the AI agent to act a certain way. So if I open this up, Chatbase already creates these depending on the use case of the AI agent that I chose in the dropdown. And they have multiple different options, or you could do a custom prompt and you could just have a back and forth conversation with ChatGPT and get it to give you what's called a system prompt. These are called the system prompts, how you train an AI agent to behave in the background. So it usually has multiple different sections. The content of the business is pulled in, so that pulled in from that web crawl. The role, the persona. Then you have an important section called constraints. So never mention that you have access to training data, right? Or restrict the role. You do not answer question or perform tasks that are not related to your role. And we define the role. So as long as you have these sections here, you're going to get a good response out of this chatbot here as you train it. Now, here's one of my favorite options here that lets you test the AI chatbot, but you could also compare it. So let's say I'm not really sure if the model that I chose to use with this chatbot is the best model. So all I have to do is change the model here and use a model that is the faster one, right? So the one I mentioned to you, this one, the mini version, and versus 5.1. I could compare the two with the same question here. So now I'm going to put myself in a position of someone using the chatbot on the website. We'll add it to the website in a bit. Right now, we want to make sure it works properly. So I'm going to go ahead and send out a chat. It's going to use both models here and send out the same exact one. And in this case, it was able to find exactly the question I wanted. And besides testing the models, you could also change the prompt so you could see how the prompt actually changes how this chatbot responds. In this case, I like how 5.1 responded here. So this is probably the one I'm going to go with. Now, here's another useful option. Under sources, you could go to any of these files at any time and add sources. So I specifically wanted to give it another resource. So I added this one called upcoming shows. Again, I pulled this directly from a website. So that'll make it a little bit faster. It doesn't have to look through that information or make any mistakes because I double checked all this. This is a very important thing for this venue to make sure it doesn't get any of this wrong. So I added it as a text file here. So anytime you could add them, and then when you add them, all you have to do is press retrain the agent. So this is going to go through that text document I just uploaded, as well as anything that has changed in those links here, and it will update your knowledge base and always keep it up to date that way. The other really great part about this is right here. This suggestion option basically finds any issues in your knowledge base, and it tells you if something is conflicting between your sources or if any content is missing, and it will give you a suggestion right here. And then you could just implement that suggestion, making sure your knowledge base just keeps improving over time. Now, this also gives you access to all kinds of integrations. So depending on what you're using this for, if you want, for example, to get access to billing, if your customer service chatbot needs access to Stripe, it could then manage payments, billing, and any type of automations that is required through Stripe. If you're also booking things on your calendar, Calendly is a great option to connect with, as well as other integrations they have. And after some testing, you could go to this deploy tab here, and this is how we're going to go ahead and add it to the website. Now, since I'm doing this for a company to actually try to sell this chatbot to them, that's the business model I'm trying here, I'm not going to just give them some code, right? I'm going to show them a finished looking page, but I don't have access to their specific website. So this is what I'm going to do. Right now, you could add this a couple of different ways. You could use this as a chat widget, which will appear right on the bottom like this, or as a full page experience, which I'm going to show you right here in a second too. This is going to be a ChatGPT style help page, which is really nice. But right now, let me show you this one. I'm going to turn this one on here. And if you manage it, it's going to bring you back to this page here. And we got a bunch of other things we could change here. The initial message could be changed and so on. And then you could alter the styling here, the AI model, and all the things I've shown you already. But we want to go to the embed code. And the chat widget is the one that shows up right here. Actually, Chatbase has one in the corner, right? It's this little thing that you see in most websites. You click it and it opens things up, right? Or you could do it as an iframe embed that embeds it on the website. It's a little bit different than the other thing I'm going to show you, which is a full page help desk experience. But right now, let's do the chat widget. Now, I just have to go and copy this code from here. And any website builder, WordPress, Squarespace, they have something called embed code widget when you build any website. So you just use that and then copy this code, and then it adds it to the bottom of the website. But I'm going to show you something more interesting that fits this business model. And I'm going to use basically a platform that lets me create a mock website for them that has this chatbot. And all I put is build a one-page website in the style of this website. I'll put the link to the website. And I said include a support agent. And I just added that code here that I just copied from the other website. And I'm going to go ahead and send this out. Now, this is lovable. This is something different, but this lets me give them a working website that has that chatbot so they could test it out. So in my email, I will just give them this link rather than the code to embed that on their own website. This way they could literally experience it and see how well it works. And I could describe that briefly in my email. Now, while Lovable is making that page, let me go to the deploy tab. They've also released this help page, which is really nice. Let me set this up for you to show you what it looks like. So the help page will be a chat-based experience, just like using ChatGPT, except it's very customizable and it's trained on that same set of knowledge base that we've already filled out, right, for our chatbot. So all I have to do is title this page here. And on this page, you could upload a logo here. You could go ahead and add a hero image. You could really customize it. So if you go to Canva and really take your time to build this out, you can make this look really nice before you send it to them. And this one also has access to your instructions. And I'm going to go ahead and deploy this one here. But if I go to that page here, I could ask it what events are showing in January and is pulling all that relevant information for us. And again, it's a ChatGPT experience, something that pretty much at this point everyone has used to some extent. So they're going to be used to this experience. If you turn it to dark mode, if you add your own logo, if you customize it for that website, it's really going to be a nice benefit in addition to the chatbot. Okay, let's go back to Lovable. So Lovable created this for us here. Obviously, it has some placeholder names, so we could change those. But again, for the case of the demo, this is fine, right? It's created this really nice looking page for us. And here is our agent, right? So let's open this up. This is the support agent. And I'll ask the same question. What is showing in January? And is pulling that information. And even provided a link for us that will take us directly to that page where they have their events. So now all I have to do is I could publish this link right here. So this just generates a link for us. And this is the link to the working website with our chatbot here in the corner, right? So now if I just take this link and send it to them, I could then describe exactly what I've done for them and for them to test it out. If they like this, which is something they just don't have on their current website, then I could basically figure out a price and then say, hey, for this much, I could do this for you. Plus, I need access to some more information that maybe wasn't available when I built this out. So it will be even better, right? Or you could do some kind of a monthly business model where you charge them on a monthly basis to maintain this and keep it up to date for them. Now, in this case, I showed you Lovable for this extra step for adding the chat-based chatbot into your website, but there's plenty of other options. This one is the one I pay for. And there's some other ones like Anti-Gravity from Google is a new one that came out that is also the same type of thing where you type in a text prompt and it creates websites like this for you. So hopefully that showed you that building a support AI agent these days is super simple, doesn't require really any technical skills. And this business model where you could now show things to actual potential clients before just reaching out to them and asking them for their business is just fantastic. And the fact that I could do this in 10, 20 minutes is just mind-blowing. I hope you found this useful. I'll put a link to Chatbase in the description. They do have a free version where you could just try it for free and then upgrade to one of their paid subscription if you want to use it for your business or with this business model. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.